if you don't have messaging in your marketing mix that speaks to how women shop, how women purchase, how women make buying decisions, I mean, you're really doing your own brand a disservice. Women influence, I think the last statistic was 62% of the purchases made in our society today, especially the big ticket items. It really kind of speaks to, at least not just the way I shop, but the way that I notice that my friends, relatives, family shop as well, is we do a lot of research. Like, we want to see not only reviews, but we want to talk to people who, or hear from people who own the product. So when you're specifically referencing cars, I mean, we're watching a lot of videos, we're watching websites, we're looking for people who actually have had experience with the brand, with the store, with a model, you know, different things like that. So it really would, if I had a dealership, I would definitely lean into that a lot more. So creating content where there's a need for explaining the why buy messaging, not only for my dealership, but also for my brand, also for the models I sell, you know, things like that, that are just maybe not as readily available. So let me explain. So let's start with something easy. Let's start with, what is the major selling feature for your store? Like, what is the advantage for someone buying from your store? I say easy, maybe this isn't the easiest one to start with, but what's the major advantage for someone buying from your store over someone else who sells the same brand of the same Kias or the same Toyotas or the same Chevrolets? What's the advantage for them buying from your store? So speak about that. If you have female salespeople, I absolutely would have them do some content creation for you if they're open to it. Some women are not comfortable with that. Some people are not comfortable with that. So be sure to be respectful about it. But at the same time, if you can have a knowledgeable female salesperson, service advisor, service tech, being able to speak about those things that your dealership does that makes you stand apart, that's all the better. And I think the next part of it is taking a model and doing quick how-to videos. I think that would also really be important for if you're trying to tell me why this Camry is better than an Altima or better than an Accord. Well, don't detract from those brands, but tell me why yours is better. Is there a longer longer times between when I have to fill up? So are the miles per gallon better? Is the interior room better? Hip room or headroom on the car better? Is the interior trunk space better? You don't want to pander. You don't want to condescend. You don't want to do any of that to how a woman utilizes the car, or try to, suppose that they're using it for mirrors for putting on lipstick and the cup holders need to fit, the ginormous Stanley cups. But at the same time, you definitely need to speak about the messaging on the why buy of that particular vehicle. So if this is a large full-size SUV and there's more cup holders in there than any other large-size SUV, speak to that. If there's more space in the third row seat than any other large SUV, speak to that. So the different things that make a difference in the life of anyone buying the car, not just necessarily a woman, need to be spoken about. How easy are the seats to clean? How easy is the floor to clean of the vehicle? How easy is it to determine whether my car needs service? Is there a low pressure, the tire pressure warning light? How does that work? What does that look like? What is that telling me? Simple things like that you can do. How do I pair a new phone? How do I take a phone off of my pairing on my Bluetooth? These are quick 2-minute, 3-minute videos at the most that you can do. And you'd be surprised how many times that the different items are searched. And if you don't believe me, you can go, there's a couple of places you can go and look. You can go and look on YouTube. You can see what searches are trending. You can go look at Google keywords. You can see what searches are trending on video in your area for that specific model. There's a couple different places that you could look and kind of see. Every major social media has what's trending right now. Look through what's trending. But don't make it so broad. Like, you can't just go into what's trending and put automotive and think you're going to come up with some viable idea for a video. Go in there and look for your particular brand. So if your brand is Toyota, look for Toyota Crown. How many people are Googling videos about the Toyota Crown? That's kind of my point is, if there are not a lot of videos out there, make some videos about it. Use hashtags, sandwich it in with basically an ad for your store that's not too obnoxious. So those types of videos that people are looking for to help them make their purchase decision are hugely impactful. So most people that we know nowadays, everyone's looked at the website before they make their vehicle purchase, but a lot of people are looking more and more towards videos and social media to make their purchase as well. So how do you want your dealership to be positioned in that purchase process, purchase consideration set? Do you want them to be positioned as just another sales pitch? Or do you want them to be positioned as a subject matter expert on that vehicle? This is the place that, told me all about the interior of the vehicle. I learned that they have more leg space in the third row seat. I learned that the maintenance intervals are 5,000 miles. I learned that the tires they put on the car are this brand and this quality, and things like that are important when you're initially buying a car to just about anybody. But like I said, as women, we research a little bit more. We don't go with gut purchases that we're just like, hey, I like the car, and this guy's, this salesman's being nice, and okay, I'll buy here. Like, we do a lot of research before we walk in the door of a dealership. And the other part of that equation is, for anybody who is thinking that, well, I don't get any leads from that, so I'm not going to do that. That is absolutely the wrong attitude to have. Digital marketing, just leads, like buying third-party leads. Go buy third-party leads. Go buy that stuff. Go buy from Car Gurus and Auto Trader and KBB. Go buy all the third-party leads. Take down your website. Don't do any paid advertising yourself, and just buy third-party leads. If that's all you want is leads, just do that. I guarantee you, within 30 days, probably less than that, at the very most, if you absolutely don't know what you're doing whatsoever, within 30 days, you'll be back on digital marketing. Digital marketing in the organic, the content building, all that kind of stuff, that is not to drive leads, it's to drive traffic, because you don't have leads without traffic. So if you aren't willing to push people to the website, you're not going to get people on the website and to engage with however your website is set up to capture that traffic in the form of a lead. That's a whole nother series too. So generally speaking, me as a woman, I'm not going to fill out a form lead. I don't know how many women would actually fill out a form lead. That would be an interesting survey to take. How do you engage with a dealership? Form lead, phone call, text, chat, the virtual retail tool, digital retail tool, whatever you want to call it. So you have to meet people where they're at to kind of capture that information. So 2 parts to this. Number 1, start more marketing in the research aspect of people looking for your particular store, brand, and model, and tailor that content towards generally asked questions. You don't know what those would be? Start with your salespeople. See what the top 5 questions each of your salespeople get every day. I guarantee you'll get some content from that. Number 2, make sure you have multiple ways of engaging people on your website and not just relating what your ad spend is to a form lead. That is ridiculous. Form leads account for maybe 4% of your website traffic and full engagement. So to rely completely on that for how you count your success or your failure of your digital advertising is pretty ridiculous. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Happy selling.